guys, Nick here, and welcome back to another Supergirl episode review. My thoughts on tonight's episode of Supergirl, the mid-season premiere titled Blood Bonds. And I gotta say, first of all, it's good to be back. I hope everyone had a good holiday season, spending time with their family and friends and whatnot. I spent most of my holiday season working and watching Star Wars, so and it's nice to be back. It's nice having at least the Supergirl. The break was only a few weeks, but to get back into the episode itself, overall, tonight's episode was underwhelming. There's a lot of problems that I had with the episode and the writing, and overall, it wasn't a terrible episode, but it definitely wasn't the worst episode of the season. But to me, there was just too many character inconsistencies, mostly revolving around Kara, that I thought were just really big problems that I feel the need to address. So to get into my problems with the episode itself, I didn't like how, when Kat first finds out that Kara is Supergirl, we all are just like, oh wow, that's going to create a new interesting dynamic. And then, of course, they go into like something really dumb, predictable, where it's like, oh, I'm not being so subtle, like, oh my god, I can't be Supergirl, like, what, me? Not me. Like that kind of stuff that, like, I don't know, I've seen so much on shows before, and it's gotten to a point where it's lazy writing, in my opinion. And that when Kara was running around trying to prove how she's not Supergirl, she wasn't being subtle about it at all. And she's like, oh, act normal, but not normal, but like super normal. It's like, calm down. Like, seriously, like I understand this show's tone and all that stuff, but I feel like the way they handled that was really, it was lazy. Like that whole aspect of the episode was really lazy. Like, I don't know why they did it. I mean, it's not original. It's not funny. It's lazy. I didn't like it. Like, I really didn't. And I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy here, but it's like, this show is one of my favorite shows right now. I enjoy watching it week after week. This episode I didn't even get really drawn into the episode until the end. I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch it live, so I had to watch it online. And as I'm watching it, I'm just like tuning in and out, and it's just like, a good show shouldn't be doing that to its audience. I mean, I'm probably one in the minority, and there's probably a lot of people who like this episode. And I mean, I'm not saying hey, people can't enjoy this episode, but to me, there are bigger problems that I didn't want to just not address, because it's something that it's for a show that I like so much. I can't go without talking about these problems. And another thing that really bothered me, that really stood out, was when Kara was about ready to go off and talking about how she's not so different from Astra and Non. And it's like, I understand they wanted to show an instance of which Kara wasn't really thinking straight, and then she was kind of like letting her emotions get the better of her. But it's like, after everything she's been through so far, you would think she would think things through. I mean, yeah, it's a tough situation, but Kara was not reacting realistically, rationally, or any way, shape, or form that really makes any sense. Like, when she's about ready to go off and, like, storm the Maxwell Lords, like, come on, calm down. Like, this was an episode where I feel like Kara just felt so out of character. Like, she really did. I mean, except for the moments where she was, like, talking to Asha and stuff, but other than that, I feel like they didn't write Kara well this episode, and it sucks, because she's the lead character, and yet you find reasons to not treat her like the main character. You feel like talking to the writers, it's just like, I don't like how they used her character. Again, it just felt out of place. It felt out of character. I didn't like it. I didn't like Kara in this episode. It's not Melissa Benoist's fault at all. Of course, she does the best she could, but it's like the writers they wrote her out of character, and that was a big problem to me. And I had some other minor gripes about, like, there's certain instances where, like, they're showing, like, the flashbacks of Krypton and stuff, and Laura and Astra are talking, and then Non comes in. And it just felt a little too Man of Steel-esque when, like, Non was trying too much to be like General Zod. And I really don't like how they used Non. Like, they could have just said it was anyone else, but I feel like they're trying to do their own version of General Zod, but they can't use General Zod because, the movies and stuff. I don't know, I just didn't really care for the Non character at all. He didn't really feel menacing, and it's just, I don't know. And the whole third of, like, Astra's army, just, it felt more menacing and more threatening in the mid-season finale. This time around, they just don't feel menacing. And even Astra herself, a character I really enjoyed up to this point, this episode, she just let her emotions control her. And I didn't like how allowed herself to become so vulnerable, because we've come to see that she's this really strong and really powerful character. And yet in this episode, they make her, just because she's under the influence of kryptonite, she's just sitting there weak, like, woe is me, like, she's getting so emotional. Like, again, it just felt out of character to me. I don't know what happened with this episode. It just, like, these characters just felt out of character. And then of course, I didn't like just the whole aspect of, you know, like, every time Kara walked in the room with Kat, you know, Kat had to make some sort of Supergirl thing, and it just got annoying after a while. It's just like, come on, like, can we just move past that already? I mean, yes, I did like the ending scene when, you know, they did the body double thing with, you know, with Hank taking on Kara's form. That I did like, but yeah, I don't mean to sound so negative. It's just tonight's episode was really underwhelming, and it was really disappointing to me, and especially how they handled Ashta and Kara. So, anyways, to get into the things that I did like about this episode, I definitely really liked when James was able to stand up to Maxwell Lord. Definitely shows, I mean, yes, we know how strong of a character that James is, and the things he's willing to do to protect Kara, but at the same time, it is nice, like, seeing him, you kind of go and be the photographer that we know he is. Like, he's being more of a reporter than he is a photographer. I mean, yes, it's nice seeing that maturity in the Jimmy Olsen character that we really haven't seen in any sort of, you know, shows or anything before. And again, throughout the episode, there were little things here and there that I enjoyed. Like, I liked when there was the explosion that Kara used her cape to protect Alex. And yeah, we've kind of seen that thing before, but I liked it. And I like in the end when Kara finally found out about Hank, and truth about him being Martian Manhunter. Of course, not going by that yet. He's still going by John Jones, his actual name. And she's saying, like, why can't you tell me I can keep a secret? And then, like, Alex and Hank are just like, no, you can't. And like, it's like, yes, because Kara tells everyone everything. And I really did enjoy that last scene between Kara and Hank. That made the episode not so shady to me. I mean, yes, I have a lot of problems with this episode as a whole, but that last scene really did it for me, and it made the episode feel like, okay, like, we can get through this, like, we can just move past it, because I feel like this episode they tried making too much like a two-parter with the whole mid-season finale thing. I just wish there was, I don't know, for mid-season premiere, I was disappointed. But overall, of course, I mean, it's a show. Not every episode is going to be 100% perfect. I'm not expecting the show to be perfect. I just wish the show would have a little more consistency in how they write their characters and how they treat their characters. But, again, my problems aside, I'm still hopeful every week for the show to be good. And for the most part, it is good. I mean, yes, people have the problems with the tone and all that stuff, but I don't. I'm a fan. If I didn't care about the show, I wouldn't be talking about it. If I didn't care for this episode, I wouldn't be talking about it. But I care enough about the show itself to keep talking about it and address the issues that need to be brought up, because as a fan, you can't just ignore problems that are there right in front of you. You can't just like put on blinders and just pretend they're not there. Like, as a fan, I feel like they need to address it, and that's what this episode kind of did for me. Like, it brought up an issue in this episode, really, not necessarily in past episodes, but brought up an issue in the episode that I, again, just feel they needed to address. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it from me, guys. So yeah, if you guys like what you see here, go ahead and hit subscribe below. I do review Supergirl every week. I also review Flash and Arrow. Those come back the week of January the 18th. So watch out for those reviews. And I'll also be reviewing Legends of Tomorrow when that comes out. I'll be excited for that. But yeah, I also do other videos on my channel. I do movie reviews. I just reviewed Star Wars, a spoiler and non-spoiler review for that movie. If you guys want to check those out, I do trailer reviews, all that kind of nerdy stuff if you guys are interested in seeing me. So that'll be it for me, guys, and until next week, have a good one.